Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix. Game we did just prior, but it wasn't too long ago, because of Route 65. This one, being Echo again. Because I wanted to check out Route 65 since there's pretty much only one route. That being the prequel to this game. Boy, just remembering what happened the last time I played this game. Well, with us having mental breakdowns, defending TJ, and killing Flynn? Yeah, that's his name. How do I remember these names? I mean, I guess I read them several times, but still. Gonna be doing all the routes, or at least plan to, because it's like, I need to figure out what's going on. Like, everybody's kind of story, what's going on with Carl hitting it hard, even by my standards. What else? Hopefully we also figure out what was going on with Janine or Jenna? Not her, but the older coyote lady, who seemed to be also having just a breakdown as well. And also maybe see what was up with Leo, being like, well, I avoided you this entire thing. Also, I do know a little bit about his route, but at least I will pick the good option. I know that. And maybe something about Flynn? Granted, I wouldn't want to follow Flynn because he just seems like a huge dick. Though maybe there's a whole thing about that. Also, I did see something that seemed like fan art, which could be a major spoiler in one of these things. But also is the question of, like, does whoever I pick drastically change the universe of this game? Because that would be a big universe change. Or if it's one of these things where it's like, yeah, the universe is the same no matter who you pick. It's just your choices in it change. Like, hey, if you pick this person never left to this town, or if you pick that person did leave the town kind of thing, you know? Trying to keep it unspoilery. But anyways, let's start the game, and I'm gonna have it skip, and it's gonna be really fast, but so, don't blink while I blink. I just want to do that so we can get some sort of recap. Going into town. Meeting all the buds. Everybody seems to be super chill, dog. Happy. Going to the state fair. People feeling sick. Gonna snuggle up to TJ. Totally not gonna grow feelings for him. Turns out I'm bisexual. I like kissing girls. And then talk about relationship stuff. And then there's that huge fight where he's like, I need to know what happened to him because I've been going over this for like so long. And yeah, we picked TJ last time. I feel like we're gonna go for Leo because I wanted to go Leo last time, but I was like, well, we need to figure out what's going on with TJ to comfort him. But yeah, we're gonna go for Boyfriendo. I feel like on this list of people, I might do like Leo, maybe Jenna, then Flynn, then Carl. Flynn's background might be kind of interesting, but I want to go Boyfriendo, you know? Just make sure my face is right again. Also, the audio's alright? It seems alright. I watched Jenna's tail disappear through the sagebrush. They're headed down the same trail that I used to get to Lake Emma. TJ did seem to head off in that direction while we were fighting, though I can't imagine he'd go to the lake. So I guess, yeah, the recap is Flynn got drunk. Maybe it seemed like he got drunk, or just plain pissy. Started going off on everybody, and then went to TJ and was like, "Oh wait, TJ, You knew what happened to Sydney, tell me. And then stormed off, and TJ ran off. And everybody's just kind of not having a good time. I should go with him to help find the Lynx, even though I know exactly where he is. I'm also a little worried about Leo. It's been a long time since I've seen him that pissed. When I get there, I find Leo leaning back with his rear up against the big boulder on the shore. I didn't think he would be the bottom. Bittersweet memories flood in. That rock is almost as much a staple of my childhood as the actual lake is. Oh, is this the lake that Carl chipped Superwolf into? It's weird like that. Every memory I have of this place is dreamy, gold-tinted, but always has a hint of sadness about it, no matter what the situation was. Just keep an eye on that. I should probably move this a bit over so I could see the audio levels a bit better. Jenna's standing in front of Leo, her arms folded as she talks to him. Did I not click on it? We're still recording though. There we go. Guess, yeah, we're still good. I can't see his face, but his posture is sagging and his ears are down, looking way older than he actually is. I stand back for a while, feeling awkward, but about to intervene at this point, I guess. Leo occasionally shakes his head, then takes out his phone to look at it. I can see Jenna's getting annoyed, but then she says something, and Leo turns his head to look back at me. I seize up for a second, but Jenna is begging me with her paw while Leo isn't looking. Oh, I wonder, I was just thinking, like, because what Flynn said to us is that we raise our tail for anybody or trying to get into everybody's pants. I wonder if that's because of what was on Route 65 where main character's son, I can't remember his name. He put out a hookup meetup kind of thing just a while before Route 65. I start stumbling over the rocks towards them as Leo looks back down his phone and Jenna starts walking towards me. Just talk to him. He'll listen to you. Go to Leo. She passes by me, going back towards the trail. Sure, he'll probably listen to me, but I have no idea what I should say. The rocks are actually hard to navigate, especially when you don't have the protection for your feet. Any protection. I'm almost to the boulder when my foot catches on the edge of a rock and I yelp and fall back forward, knees first on the sharp rocks. Oof. Ah! Pain shoots up my legs and my eyes clench shut as I cringe silently. Shit, you alright? I look up and see Leo looking down at me, his ears up, now at the sound of my fall. Yeah, fine. Leo frowns and reaches over with a paw, which I grab onto and pull myself up with. I make my way around him, being a little more careful about where I put my feet as I position myself next to him against the boulder. I put both my paws behind myself and heave myself up on top of the boulder, letting my legs dangle over the side. Ugh, so damn clumsy with these tiny little feet. Because I'm an otter. You're an otter. Wow, asshole. I say it jokingly, but Leo's not really smiling. Instead, he sticks a paw back into his pocket and pulls out a slightly flat-looking cigarette. I give a start and stare. Give a start and stare? I shouldn't be surprised. I could smell it on him when I first got here. It's just that I'm not used to seeing him do it. He started right after I left. He pulls out a lighter, lights it, takes a drag, then blows the smoke out the side of his muzzle, away from me. You're meant to swim, not walk on rocks. I mean, technically Carl was built for that, and he's still falling down all the time. Well, I mean big rocks, I guess, but still, it's like Well, there are rocky shores and otters. Because I think there's... Do rocky shores exist more in the north? I should know this shit. I think that's because Flynn's always tripping him with his tail. Speaking of Carl. Grunting, I lean over sideways and look at the side of the boulder. I find what I'm looking for instantly, a series of chips and scratches, outlining the rough figure of a canine with a long cape and an S on the chest. Heh, it's still here. Carl's drawing? Shit. I forgot about that. Never finished it, did he? Nah, but it's pretty good. Remember how Superwolf was the only thing he talked about that summer? Yeah, and the movie wasn't even that good. He loved it, though. Yeah, and I guess that's what really mattered. Boy, I'm not sure what it's like for kids these days, but is it also kind of the thing where it's like, yeah, I mean, it came down a bit slowly, so like, there was that one summer movie. The Puss in Boots is kind of a thing that's been out for a bit. Avatar did stay out for a long time and people loved it. You know, the last Airbender movie? Leo grimaces and reaches over to my knee. I wince and look down as he puts his thumb and index finger around a cut that I hadn't noticed until now. Blood is oozing through the fur and leaking down my shin. We'll need to clean that out. I shrug. It's not a big deal. Nah, we'll stop at the convenience store and get some peroxide. There's some nasty shit around this lake. Fair enough. It's fine. Seriously. Just to be safe. I smirk. Safe? Like this? I reach up and grab a cigarette dangling from his lips. He's quick, though, and whips his head away before taking it out of his muzzle. Hey, don't hey me. Why the fuck are you smoking? His ears fall flat again, and he glares. Why the fuck do you care? He spits that out with so much venom that I lean away from him, eyes wide. He never talked to me like that before, and I was joking too. What? Leo quickly looks away and doesn't say anything. I stare at his face for a while, watch his eyes flick around as he shakes his head. Are you still mad at me? We talked. Of course I'm still mad, Chase. Talking doesn't just fix 3 years. All the progress I thought we made on Saturday was an illusion. Leo's just as upset as he'd always been about what happened. I don't know what you want me to say. What do you want me to say, Leo? That I was wrong to leave? I should have stayed here? Not leave me in the dark would have been a good start. Yeah, I fucked that up. But it just happened, and I can't fix that. What do you want to happen now? Leo stretches his arms out to either side with one giant shrug. I don't know. This is already familiar. 1,000 past fights flash through my mind. Did we ever agree on anything? Oh, so were there like multiple fights before the breakup and leaving? I slide off the boulder and Leo snaps his muzzle towards me, probably thinking I'm gonna leave. Instead, I lean one paw against the rock as I turn to glare at him. It feels better yelling at someone standing up rather than sitting down. Oh, I know exactly what you want. Oh, do you? You just want me to drop everything and come back here, back to Echo. When did I ever ask you to drop anything? I just want to know if you're coming back. How am I supposed to know that? Why can't you plan ahead further than the next week? I swear, it's always like this with you. I let out an exasperated laugh. I'm 21. I don't fucking know anything about anything. How should I know what I want? Well, I'm here. Don't you want to come back and live with me? We always planned for it. His voice softens, and I pause. Thinking about it right now, it is something I would want. It's just... Is Echo so bad that its negative outweigh my benefits? I mean... I gesture at the town in the distance, looking as shitty and rushed as ever. Then to the lake, looking as shitty and murky as ever. You know, relationships are a thing, but I definitely wouldn't want to stay in a small town for a relationship. Unless it was like, I don't know, this person was loaded and we could have everything brought in, but it's like, I was thinking this town was what? Maybe like my western town of like 5,000? Then I was like, oh, maybe it's a town of 300 something. No, from Route 65, it's like a town of less than 100 people, and it's like, yeah, what is there to do in this town? And I mean just entertainment-wise, I mean like work or anything. I would be like, hey Leo, maybe we just get out of this town. Grant, if you could. Though I guess his family is in town too. Then to the desert around us, looking as shitty and dry as ever. I let the scenery speak for itself. So yeah. Leo rose his eyes. Puchita, otter. I'm starting to think you just want an excuse to not be around me. I'm starting to think that what Flynn said was true. I can't remember what Flynn said about Leo. He looked straight at me, his eyes narrowing over his muzzle, his nostrils flaring. What? I'm not obsessed with you. I miss everyone, that's all. Is that wrong? I go quiet for a while, and turn to look back over at the lake, squinting at the bright, reflective flashes of light. It can be. But then, I don't even know if he's telling the truth. He'd never say whether or not this whole thing he'd planned was just for me. He doesn't say anything, and he'd just sit there for a while. Even for a wolf, his whole sticking together thing is a little intense. He had brought us together at the very beginning, sure, but after Sydney, it was on a whole different level. He barely ever let us leave his sight. That's when I notice a dark figure across the lake, walking on the side of the road. It's Flynn, and he's heading back to Echo. I can see that Leo spotted him too, his ears and eyes following him, but he doesn't say anything. Finally, I speak up. So, is what he said about me true? No. He says it quietly, but the answer's instant. Really? Leo takes another drag on his cigarette. Weirdly enough, I actually kind of like the smell of the smoke. I do too, kind of. Like, cigarette smoke, when it's like at a distance and a bit of wind, actually smells pretty good. But, you know, don't smoke, kids. And don't drink. I think his problem with you is that you don't act like you used to as a kid or teenager. He's told me before. I mean, you used to be a snarky motherfucker, even more than you are now. My stomach sinks. Yeah, you grew up, mellowed out. Again, my insides twist, and I don't trust myself to speak right then. You told me I mellowed out? Leo gets the wrong idea and smiles, putting his arm around me and pulling me up to his side. What he said about everyone was total bullshit, especially Jenna. I can't remember about Jenna. Was it that she was too good for everybody or something? His whole family mantra did have its limits. The fact that Leo was so defensive of Jenna's decision to leave her family shows what a piece of shit they really are. Yeah, we saw where they were. Because she couldn't go anywhere. The dad was completely blasted. Mom, we didn't see where she was. bro was, you know, a motherfucker and also sleeping on the couch and also probably on something too. It's like, oh yeah, and she didn't have a door to her room. And she lived in the boiler room? I'm just glad. He's changed the subject, though. Laying my head on his shoulder, I let his hold comfort me. He's still watching Flynn. Pooh, cheetah. I can't fucking believe he did this now. Idiot. Idiot. Also, let's look at Puchita. Spanish to English translation. I said Spanish to English. Puchica. Little girl? Huh. Leo shouts it loud across the lake, and, if I could, I'd lower my ears like a canine. I see the small figure that is Flynn turn around and look back at us. He stays like that for a while. It looks like he's examining us. Finally, he turns back around and keeps going towards Echo. Fucking idiot. How the hell am I going to go ahead with what I planned this week? Yeah, it's a plan this week? Because on the other route where we go with TJ, let's see, what was it? We help the old coyote with a couple of things. And we go on a scavenger hunt, and Leo's nowhere to be found for most of it. I think that's pretty much the synopsis of everything. In the past, Flynn would have his blow-ups, then get over it, and so would we. But this time really did feel different. It was like he'd been chipping away at our group for years, and finally, this is what broke it into pieces. Now, there's no putting things back together. I mean, I think the rest of us can, still be together. It's just that, whatever his name is. Flynn? Yeah. Maybe it would be better if we didn't come here. It's sort of my fault. Nope, it's Flynn's fault. Stupid to blame yourself. I don't know. We always had problems. Probably would have been better to just leave things as they were. No. Jesus. Why does everyone act like this? Act like this whole thing, Echo, our friendship, is some kind of horrible tragedy. I mean, Echo is a tragedy. Have you seen the map? Also, for reference, I did William's route as far as we could go, which goes up to that one point where, sorry, I'm just taking this thing off, where, we have that incident with the rat's wife. Woof. And then I started on, what's his name's, Cliff's route, which, oh yeah, I guess by the time this gets posted, we won't have seen it yet, but where we see the map, and it's like, yeah, things are, ooh, there's some strange stuff going on in and around Echo, which includes the lake. It hasn't exactly been a walk in the park. Life isn't a walk in the park. This is where we come from. Find someone good in it instead of bitching about everything. It could be so much worse. I mean, we could go check out a cave and there's some skelly bobs in there, maybe. My parents told me stories about their hometown. How much worse could it be? I mean, yeah, I guess it could be a lot worse. And compared to where I was born, this isn't shit. He huffs out smoke through his nose, not bothering to blow it away for me this time. I'm engulfed in the smell of tobacco. I mean, not to be an asshole, but you gringos have it easy. My mom got a phone call almost every month telling her they'd kill my dad just because they had money. Leo's always been good at making me feel like a spoiled brat. I'm sorry. His arm tightens around me, and I turn my head to run my nose into his chest. I can smell his musk under his heavy deodorant. It's a familiar smell I like. Don't be. I mean, we all play our cards, right? But try to have a little more perspective. He leans his chin on the top of my head. I feel like we should have some boundaries since we're not exactly a couple anymore. But this feels right. I love this town, and I love you guys. I just want things to work out, not to lose touch. I need something really special. You're such a wolf. Thanks. I lay a paw on his thigh and rub it slowly, thinking. I mean, is there really no way you could leave with me? It would make things so much easier. Please, don't ask me that. Can't leave them. I could never do that. You know this. I think they have a business in town, though I'm not sure what the business would be, you know? Of course it did. We've argued about it over 100 times already. I squeeze his thigh. So, are you still mad at me? I listen to Leo's breathing deeply, my head rising with his chest. No, Otter. I'm not mad. We just have a lot of things to figure out. But we will. I guess it's a good as place as any to leave it off. So, I moved to another subject. So now that Flynn's fucked up the trip, what do we do next? He hasn't. We'll fix this. Just gotta get that dumbass to apologize. I mean, do we really need Flynn with us? He's a motherfucker. But once you do, we have a birthday to plan. Carl's. I raise my brows in surprise. It wasn't anyone's birthday anytime soon. Speaking of which, note to self, write down my friends' birthdays on the calendar so I actually fucking remember them. Huh? Whose birthday? Carl's. Carl? His birthday wasn't until the end of April. Literally a month away. It's early. Really early. I know. Right. But I'm kind of limited here on ideas of what we can do. I guess that makes sense. Sorry, yeah. So, when's that gonna be? Wednesday. We need to buy the stuff tomorrow, and I have the day off. Leo looks at his phone again. Speaking of which, I need to drive you guys back so I can get back to work. Well, alright. I'm not doing much else tomorrow. I should be working on the project, but I've got plenty of time. Leo slides off the boulder and turns back to me. I'll ask Jenna and TJ too. I'll let Flynn cool off for a day. Do you know where TJ went? Yeah, he just texted me that he wanted to be left alone, which I understand. I get off the boulder as well, and Leo reaches a paw out to me. And this time, watch where you're walking, hold on to me. That's probably a good idea. Damn, that's some good timing right there. Thursday. We should probably roll that back just one tad. I can do it. Yes, I started this in December. And boy, that seemed like a while ago. Well, as you can see, March. And we also did a little bit of stuff in February. That's Route 65. It's weird that they have the same save file kind of thing, you know? It do be like that sometimes. Not exactly 10 o'clock. Was there anything? Oh yeah. Let's do the rollback machine. Oh, I guess it only goes so far. Nope. Verb. And a back. Family. You gotta... I don't know. Because as you heard, it was... And it's like, okay, what's the thing? It's like, are you talking to Grandma right now? It's like, no. It's like, okay, because it was... She called us, and then we called her. No, and then he tried to call her back, and then it's like, come on. I think it's that. It's just like one of the problems of trying to do Let's Plays when you're living with family. Because then it's like, oh, you guys are just going to bug me quite a lot, aren't you? And it's almost never on the days where I'm like, I'm not going to be doing Let's Plays, but it's much more commonly on days when I'm doing it. It's like, hey, I'm in the middle of something. And then they're like, hey, I'm going to go to the place. Do you need anything? Like, well, there's a list that we put stuff on. Oh, okay. So anyways, yeah, let's look at what this guy's thing was against him. So it was like Carl's lazy and doesn't have any motivation to do anything. Man, he must have a high feeling about Jenna's family. Probably dealing with meth. Or, what is it? What's the thing that starts with H? Wait, is there a thing that starts with H? Heroin? Yeah, that's it. She doesn't owe her family shit. Hey. I mean, he succeeded, but hey. Hey, Brocks have great personality. Granite, for instance. Marble, pretty good. Diamond, overrated. I mean, I would like to collect Jenna, but that's another story. And then we all know his thing about TJ. Okay, guess that was the whole group. So, thank you all for watching. I'm gonna go get lunch, I guess, even though it's early. Whatever. And until next time. Oh, yeah, if you want to play this game, free on itch.io. But, if you want to get the most up-to-date version, itch.io, because it's already completed and out. But if you want to support the people that made this game and are making the Smoke Room, and Kamina and Terra, Glory Hounds, Route 65, and the Daster they already made. Is there anything else? They made quite a lot. Surprising. I actually don't know the group dynamic, if it's a bunch of people doing different projects, or if it's like one or two people, or a small group of people doing one project, kind of, and switching back and forth, because, hey, sometimes you feel like it. Like doing these things. I kind of wanted to continue the Smoke Room, but I was like, I kind of also wanted to do this, and it's kind of hard to do that. I wanted to complete Cliff Street before I came back to this, but, don't know how long that's gonna be, you know? So yeah. Spay New Year, oops, and thanks, and see ya.